I laid on my cot wondering when my cellmate would return. Before long, my mind started to drift. I thought about how I marveled at the size of this place on approach. I'd never imagined a structure like this could exist in a place so desolate. From SR 721, the fortress was hardly visible. Tree stumps blanketed the landscape for miles in every direction. As I navigated the hazardous vein of roadway that coursed through the plain of wooden tombstones, I thought of my sister. She was always punctual. I envied her for it. But on that day, anger was the emotion that was commanding me to push my old Plymouth to its limits. Each mile of the final approach passed like a kidney stone. I remembered thinking, where were all the trees, and why was the prison set back so far off SR 721? Of course now it was obvious. Escape was hopeless. How far could a guy get running through a field of tree stumps with German shepherds in hot pursuit? But that was the easy part. First were the armed guards, fencing, and razor wire. So if hope was to exist, its source would need to be from somewhere inside these walls. I wondered about my Plymouth. It wasn't much, but it was more than most had in Hickory. I guessed at the warden's intentions for it. First he stole my car. Then he locked me up. I figured selling it to buy his mistress something nice would be par for the course. More than likely, some prison guard's teenage kid would inherit the car. I hoped it would explode in a ball of fire on Junior's prom night. I felt ashamed for thinking that. Besides, what would the youngster have anything to do with it? Acutely interrupted, I was forced to recall that I was still in tremendous physical pain. My left eye was still swollen shut, but the aches in my ribs were subsiding. After 3 days in the infirmary, I was used to my broken teeth by now. I hadn't seen a mirror yet, but I knew what my new smile looked like. My tongue described it to me in Braille. I was worried. Even here, in a hell without mirrors, vanity was getting the better of me. Would it even matter what I looked like now? If I ever planned on getting out of there, it did. And so the real question I started to ask myself was, how in hell was I going to get out of there?